So, my friends, today the activity along the entire front line shows no signs of diminution. Let's start with the direction of Kupiansk. Here, the occupiers, despite enduring significant losses that can't be compared to their advancements, are still moving closer to Kupiansk. Yesterday's progress in the Petropavlivka area indicates that they have come closer to the road and might attempt to cut it, allowing them to traverse the fields towards Kupiansk and bypass two villages they have struggled to capture for a long time. How quickly they can accomplish this remains a question for now, but there is no doubt that they are planning it, as the Armed Forces of Ukraine report that on the occupied territory, the occupiers continue to deploy more units for offensive actions. So it's still just the beginning. Today, attacks are happening in Sinkivka, and 7 attacks have been conducted in the past day. However, the village remains under the control of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and the shelling persists. Moving to the Svatove direction, I want to remind you that this direction has been relatively calm for almost half a year. Unfortunately, 2 villages have been lost here. The occupiers may have taken advantage of the lower concentration of forces in this area and successfully advanced. In the Stelmachivka area, all attacks from yesterday were unsuccessful and the front line remains unchanged. So we are waiting to see how events will unfold here. In the Kremina area, there continues to be significant activity. In the past day, 4 attacks and a large number of shelling incidents have been reported. After a successful advance closer to populated areas, the Ukrainian forces are now more pressed towards the river with a distance of about 2.5 kilometers. The entire area is under fire, so complicating the defense. In the Siversk direction, the occupiers persist in assaulting Ukrainian forces' positions around Bilogorivka. 6 attacks have been conducted in the past day. Today, they are advancing from the south of Shepelivka. In this direction of the front, they have managed to make significant progress and are now attempting to storm from this foothold. There are no reports of success yet, and the front line remains unchanged. Unfortunately, Bilogorivka is heavily encircled with a distance of 5.5 kilometers between the front lines. So the occupiers are attempting to shell this territory extensively. In the Bakhmut direction, the occupiers conducted 5 attacks in the past day. They are advancing towards Bogdanivka, Ivanivske and Klishchiivka. The entire territory is heavily shelled, but so far this hasn't aided the occupiers as the Ukrainian forces successfully maintain its defense. In the Avdiivka direction, the occupiers have slightly reduced their activity today, conducting 14 attacks in the past day. So this marks a significant decrease compared to the previous 30 attacks per day. However, as you may have already understood, they are not backing down. Rather, they are regrouping, bringing in additional reserves, and preparing for renewed engagement. Therefore, we should expect a new intensification in the near future. Currently, battles are ongoing in the areas of Novobakhmutivka, Stepove, and the industrial zone, where the occupiers continue to attempt to build on their success and expand control over the territory. Attacks on Severne, Prvomaiske and Nevelske are taking place on the southern flank. Success hasn't been achieved here, but it's too early to speak about the results. The occupiers are simultaneously storming Prvomaiske with several groups today. The situation there is very challenging. In the area of Mariinka, the occupiers attempted 3 times in the past day to break through to Georgiivka, but didn't succeed. Attempts to capture Novomikhailivka are also ongoing, and despite the very difficult situation, the Ukrainian armed forces continue to repel attacks, maintaining an unchanged front line for a day. In the Vuhledar direction, the occupiers, as before, are not conducting new offensive actions. However, shelling continues, and there have been no changes along the front line. In the Zaporizhia direction, fighting has resumed in the Robotin area, with 4 attacks conducted in the past day. However, the front line remains at its previous positions. Near Verbove, the occupiers have also failed to achieve success in the past few days, and shelling continues along the entire front line. In the Kherson direction, the occupiers continue shelling the right bank and don't cease their attempts to push the Ukrainian forces out of the left bank. It's also reported that yesterday the occupiers targeted a truck with ammunition with a missile, but fortunately the truck wasn't detonated and the impact wave passed through it. So this indicates that the occupiers are monitoring even trucks and attempting to destroy and shell everything to weaken the Ukrainian armed forces in this direction. In turn, the occupiers provide interesting details from this direction.
Everything is the same. Our troops continued to storm the village of Krinky in groups, as yesterday, from the 328th Airborne Assault Regiment, but today, instead of the 26th Motorized Rifle Regiment, the 126th Motorized Rifle Brigade took part in the assaults. As before, to no avail. But there is a nuance. As we were told by the artillery officers of the headquarters of the Dnipro Civil Army, there are almost no normal Russian shells in our warehouses, and therefore the artillery support was carried out with shitty North Korean shells, as a result of which not all shells flew accurately at the enemy. There were cases when they flew at our attack aircraft.
Overall, we are waiting for good news. Additionally, Belarus has received nuclear missiles for the Iskander complexes from Russia. According to the Belarusian dictator, Russia supplied the country with tactical nuclear weapons at its own expense. Lukashenko didn't miss the opportunity to threaten neighboring countries as well. So he stated that the missiles received from Russia could be aimed at Poland, which he accused of planning an invasion of Belarus.
Но мир дорого стоит. И надо сказать спасибо россиянам. Они нам здорово помогли в прошлом году. Я даже не говорю тут о ядерном оружии, которое всех поставило на место. Как только в Беларуси появилось ядерное оружие, все крылья опустили. И соседи ошалевшие наши, и другие. Хотя, не дай Бог, не только мне, но и новому поколению политиков думать о применении этого ядерного оружия. Это страшное оружие. Но мы у россиян за их деньги, правда, мы платим им по другим счетам, мы получили такие комплексы, как «Искандер». Особо опасное оружие, там оно закодировано, кодировано, и я подписал указ, как применять это оружие. Его можно применить только с согласия президента, там, министра обороны, начальник генерального штаба задействован, у каждого свои функции. Но ядерное оружие это еще сложнее в применении. Поэтому мы и «Искандеры» получили. Мы получили много боеприпасов, ракет прежде всего.
Meanwhile, on Russian Telegram channels, a video has appeared showing Kadyrovцы threatening to shoot Russian military personnel in the occupied Melitopol.
До какого числа он у вас?
Что?
До какого числа будет?
Бессрочный.
Бессрочный боевик у нас считается недействительным. Вы в
Мне
курсе?
похуй, что вам считается, я командир батальона, что вам считается. Командир мне полка выдал, что все.
Нажимайте машину вправо.
Стреляй, блядь!
Стреляй, ебаный в рот, блядь! Стреляй, блядь!
Похуй, блядь! Ади.
Сука, блядь, ты сейчас барабан на ложку, блядь.
Ади, блядь!
Сука, блядь.
Ты чё нахуй, блядь? Ади! Выебу сейчас, блядь! Вы что, охуели, что ли? Командир батальона.
А ну вон отсюда!
Пидорас, ёбаный. Идём, машин, идём, шеф.
Останавливай, надо других машин, блядь,
And that's all from me. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all the latest news. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.